Good morning, everyone. It's Rifgal. We are playing some more of the Return to Castlevania DLC for Dead Cells. And we're picking back up kind of where we left off. Last time I died in the clock tower. And I discovered, after doing a little bit of research, that you actually need to... You can't do the second half of the DLC in the same run as the first half of the DLC. So the endgame stuff, post-Clock Tower, we need to do in a separate run anyway. So I figured I would get back to the Clock Tower, which is kind of where we left off, and we'll see if we can get through the end of it, or at least play through the end of it. The bosses in this game are always very hit and miss, and one-shotting bosses is not something I'm expecting to be able to do, but we do have a pretty good build going here. So right off the bat, we've got Pure Nail, which has probably become one of my favorites. It does crits when you do an upward or downward attack with it, and it lets you bounce on enemies when you're in the air. And then the Assault Shield, which is amazing as a shield. Very fast, and it also gives you some forward momentum, so that that pushes and kind of stuns. Getting wrecked here by these grenades. So yeah, it's basically a lot of very fast momentum-based movement. The other thing I really like about the Assault Shield is it's very lenient. So for someone who may not be the best at parrying, it tends to be better than a lot of the others, as far as leniency goes. As far as mutations go, we're just using velocity combo. Basically, the stuff that gives you bonuses when you kill enemies. Speed bonuses and attack bonuses after you kill enemies. I think we have to go all the way back down here. So yeah, in order to get to Dracula's castle a second time after beating death. So if you go into the castle outskirts at the very beginning of the game, you can do the first Dracula's castle, but you can't do the second half, which is going to be the actual fight with Dracula. That has to be on a separate run, which is a little confusing to me, but I'll take it. So the way you have to do it is on a different run, get back to the clock tower. And beat the clock keeper, or timekeeper, whatever it is. Basically, beat the normal run for this, and Alucard will show up afterwards. And you'll get an invitation back to Dracula's castle, where you can actually now do whatever is next. Fortunately, we found the elevator before the key. Must be over here in the middle. It's going to give us the opening. Go ahead and juggle that guy. I will mention offhand also. We probably don't need that, unfortunately. Defiled does a lot of damage, but it's damage based, and we are not in green at all. We are doing so. My standard at this point is few points in whatever off blows I'm doing, and then focus completely on whatever my main weapon is. So typically I do, lately I've been doing lots of red as the primary, with, if I can get an assault shield, all the better, but the shield damage isn't the important part usually, it's parrying. So I don't care as much there. And then sub-weapons, I mostly focus on whatever is, gonna give me some limit the enemies rather than stuff that's gonna do damage to the enemies. Sometimes I like doing stuff that adds bleed or something like that instead, which is kind of what I was more doing last time, if I'm remembering correctly. Part of the reason I did what I am doing is because of another item which is actually sitting in my inventory still, and that is that Vorpan. So I got a Vorpan, which is pretty straightforward melee weapon, very short range, but it crits when you hit somebody in the face. And this particular one does 300% damage to enemies. What was the new outfit I just unlocked? Ironclad? Oh, you don't even have to get it, it's just automatic. Cool. So yeah, it's... Actually, I can show you here. So, 300% inflicted on enemies, but also 300% damage taken. So the trick here is it does lots of damage. In fact, that damage number is ridiculous now. But if you get hit at all, you're pretty much dead. So what I was using it for was, especially early game, just use these kind of items to lock the enemy in place and then just get up in their face and bash on them. It one-shot most enemies. And I basically stopped using it when it stopped one-shotting enemies. But I even used it against the first boss and just kind of wailed on him and made pretty short work of him. Okay, Timekeeper. Do a quick heal. Kind of the nice thing with this build is it is very just easy to be aggressive with it and just get up in people's face And with Timekeeper, I know her patterns well enough that I can generally defend pretty safely. We actually already got an option to switch over to the Abyssal Trident, but I'm not a huge fan. And then Alucard should be here. I almost had to wait. You're here. At the very least, we can begin. This tour goes right to my father's castle. No undead lieutenant on the way this time. Be warned, though, this castle is not just a stone building. It seems to be alive and sentient. My father knows everything that goes on within these walls, and may very well prepare a warm welcome for you. Good luck. Come find me near his throne. So, this is, I think, a really cool idea. Rather than giving you... So, most of the time, you're getting two different areas. This one, unlike all the other ones, is the same area, but from a different perspective. So we have this Dracula's castle, but then there's also this Dracula's castle up at the end. And theoretically, we should be able to... And then I assume the Master's Chambers, which we didn't get to actually go into last time because death stopped us. But this time, we've stopped death. We've already defeated death, so we don't need to worry about it. Okay. And that's what he's talking about. So Dracula just randomly shows up as you're going through this castle and will throw bats or fireballs at you, makes your enemies stronger. And I think this is a really cool idea. So it's exactly the same castle. We're gonna have a couple changes. We've got Dracula showing up. Obviously it's higher level. Like, it's the same enemies, but they're just taking more damage because it's at the end of the game and it all scales. And there is a sub-boss you have to beat, which I feel slightly bad. Oh, maybe I don't feel so bad. I feel slightly bad because when I tried this on my other account, I realized that you could basically just bounce on her head forever. I'm not getting as much of that here, which is unfortunate. Like, this is actually proving to be a lot harder than last time. I am already out of healing. That's not good. I guess we beat Medusa. Beat. So yeah, I guess we're at 16 health. Well, this is going to be an interesting one. Or 161. Okay. Well, there's only one answer. And that is, if we can't take a hit anyway, I guess let's just hit things for like 10,000 damage a hit. I do not like platforming upside down. I figured it was worth trying. Castle may be full of danger, but you can't falter now. Thanks, Alucard. So I think I'm going to go ahead and get back to that back up to the castle. And then start a second. Continue from there. Okay, so we're back to Dracula's castle. Obviously we don't have the same setup that we did last time. In this case, namely, there's no assault shield. I do have a rapier, so can roll and get crits that way. And the spiked shield, so attacking just after a parry does 300% damage. So if I roll, I get extra damage. If I parry, I get extra damage. So since this encourages me to be a little bit more mobile, a little bit more defensive, I went with my other favorite build, which is melee attack slow. Enemies take DPS while they are slow, and rolling leaves crow's feet behind you, caltrops behind you, that will slow enemies. So hitting enemies with melee or rolling, which we are going to be doing a lot of because of the rapier, are both going to give us slow and damage over time. It's not a lot of damage over time, but it's damage over time. And back into Dracula's castle. So we're starting off again, same way. Making our way all the way to the right here. I might be going the wrong way, but I can't tell because Dracula's confused me. I guess I don't know if it rotates or... Yeah, it looks like I was still going the right way. So I think it may just turned upside down without rotating it, which is almost worse. So I think this is back to Medusa. Let's see if we can do better this time. I don't have the ability to bounce, so I am just gonna have to play a little bit more honestly. I do not like this boss. So yeah, if we can get the parry and the dodge in the same time frame, that's actually really powerful, or has a lot of potential to be powerful at least. This is absolutely awful. We didn't even get anything for that? Oh, okay. Well, that sucks. So, that's apparently just ended up being a trapped treasure chest this time, but we got our key, which is ultimately the important thing, I suppose. We have a little bit more in the way of hit points this time than we did last time, because of just finding a little bit more power for the other colors. Definitely not doing cursed chest right now. That worked out really well, and I was not expecting it to work out that well. Petrified Key lets us get up to the Master's Keep. Pretty straightforward past that point. There is a lot more dungeon to explore, but I feel like at this point we're pretty well geared out. Obviously you can always get more levels, but let's see, is there anything offhand that really jumps out as something that would help? And I don't think there is. So I think we just put it into... Actually, we should be putting it into restock. Let's go ahead and upgrade. We don't actually usually have frozen targets, so let's redo that. That's still not great. Neither of our side items are actually that great, but I think we'll be okay. I mean, I guess we may very well not be okay, but that's also okay. So this should be the fight with Dracula. I know it's a 2-stage fight. I've started the first part of it before, but I didn't get very far. And I'm not holding out hope. Oh, we're there. Behind this door lies my father's throne room. Regrettably, I'll have to let you fight him alone. I tried spilling family blood before and it didn't go well. Do not waver. My father isn't invincible. You can defeat him. And that unlocks the blueprint for Alucard's outfit, which is very cool. Apparently, I forgot. So, apparently we didn't rescue Maria or Richter throughout the rest of this, so we definitely have more we can go back and do at some point. Yeah, let's see how the fight against Dracula goes. You seen a muscular guy in blue? Come on, blood of the enemy. Are you his ally, interloper? Doesn't matter. You entered my castle uninvited, and you will pay dearly for this affront. Uninvited? It's you who appeared out of nowhere with all your horrible monsters. Perhaps the same could be said of all bosses. I am not much of a human anymore, but this Richter is still a man worth saving. And then throws the glass down. What is a man? Oh god, he actually put that out there. A miserable little pile of secrets. One of the worst translated lines, most famously mistranslated lines. Now you will die. So, part of my problem here is I just played actual Castlevania not that long ago, And the mechanics in this are so different that the approach you have to take to fighting Dracula is very different. Oh, there's like a spot, there's a safe spot there that I totally missed. I'm getting a little annoyed with myself because I keep missing very stupid, like, that pattern, those fireballs that I keep getting nailed on are really easy to dodge. I'm just doing a terrible job at it. At this point, I'm just going to try and get to his second phase. I don't think we're going to beat it because we're already out of healing. Unless I'm going to get a restock here. Yeah, that's what I thought. Honestly, though, I'm kind of okay with that. And we get his second form. Oh, God. And that didn't last long. So, yeah. That, I think that was a pretty good overview of the Castlevania DLC. And unlike Castlevania 1, which I was very committed to beating, I've got plenty of time to play through this on my own. I'm not going to grind it out right now, but I hope you still enjoyed. If you did, please give me a like and subscribe. If you have any questions or suggestions, leave them in the comments. And as always, have a good one. We'll catch you next time.